Cooks? It's your boy the Hater, and it's time for our 25th of 25 reasons videos. Now, this doesn't mean, of course, that I'm not going to do 25 reasons videos ever again, but that we've done the 25 days of hate, you know what I'm saying? Let's get to it, Cooks. 25 reasons why Kenny Omega sucks. Reason number 1, he does a taunt every 4 seconds. So every time this guy does a move, it's followed up by a taunt before he does another move. Case in point, reason number 2, the Terminator dive, where he goes in the little Terminator pose that Arnold did and then smacks the ground a couple of times to get the fans behind it, then runs off the ropes and does like a swan dive, right? Like, there's no need for any of this. It's a really stupid move. And the fact that you do a taunt and get the crowd behind it should signal to the person that's about to take the dive that the dive is coming, which pretty much takes away all disbelief from wrestling being real. Because it's obviously not, but at least we have to pretend that it is, you know? Reason number 3, his finishing move is a glorified attitude adjustment. I don't care that he puts them in the electric chair drop in the end. At the end, he holds their head and he drops them on their back, right? Doesn't drop them on their head or their neck or anything. He drops them on their back, just like the AA. It's nothing special. Before it goes to the ground, he pretty much converts it into like a fireman's carry and then drops the guy forward, right? It's like a cradle shock. Nothing special at all, but people think it's like the best finisher ever. Reason number 4, he does about 25 V-triggers, also known as regular-ass running knees, in a match, right? It's supposed to be like a signature move, sometimes finisher move for him, but he does it so frequently that it's just one of his moves. Just like a running knee, he just does that, right? And this is even made worse by one of the other reasons that we're going to talk about later on. Reason number 5, his entrance involves 2 women with brooms because he is the cleaner. Now, I get it, he's the cleaner, you want to put this forward, but the reality is that this is cringe, right? Like, the cleaner in this case doesn't mean he's someone that literally cleans up a mess, right? He doesn't have a janitor gimmick, right? But nevertheless, the women come out and they actually have brooms to clean. Think about how stupid that is. Reason number 6, he has weird hair. I don't like his haircut at all. It's not long hair, it's not short hair, it's just somewhere in the middle, and it's annoying. Reason number 7, he once dressed like Sephiroth from Final Fantasy VII for no reason whatsoever. Now, the problem I have with this is actually very obvious. I like Final Fantasy myself, but Final Fantasy is nothing to do with wrestling, right? It has nothing to do with the quasi-sport of wrestling. The reason he did it is because he's a nerd, and people like nerdy shit now because most of the wrestling fans are nerds. He didn't do it for the Japanese audience, who probably doesn't care. He did it for the American audience because, quite frankly, the sales of Final Fantasy are much higher in the United States than they are in Japan, so deal with that, cucks. Reason number 8, he once wrestled a blow-up doll, and that is unacceptable to your boy. Reason number 9, he one time dressed like Princess Jasmine from Aladdin for no reason. You can look at my other Kenny Omega video where the thumbnail is a picture of this. It was really weird. It was really cringe. He's just a weird guy overall, and that's an example of that. Reason number 10, he is not great on the mic. I would say he's not even good on the mic. He's actually completely mid and garbage on the mic. That's why he's never going to make it in WWE. So people are like, oh, in WWE, like, he would do so well. And it's like, no, he wouldn't. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't have the mic skills required for that. And he doesn't have the charisma. Bonus reason, no charisma. Reason number 11, the Snapdragon suplex is annoying, right? It's basically like he just rolls the guy backwards, and it's supposed to be this devastating thing. He doesn't really drop the guy. He just moves backwards, and the guy kind of like falls on his upper back, right? It's not this like devastating move, but it's treated as such. And quite frankly, it's not as cool as if he did an actual dragon suplex, right? That would look badass. But he has a Snapdragon, which is just a lazy version of the same thing. Reason number 12, Dave Meltzer loves him, and Dave Meltzer doesn't understand wrestling. So that is something that I hold against Kenny Omega. What do you think of that? Reason number 13, AEW is built around him, but he has made a minimal impact. Despite the fact that the show is built around Kenny Omega, his impact in the show is completely negligible. Like, he hasn't done anything. Like, he's been gone for like a year, and no one seemed to care, you know? Reason number 14, his title reign was garbage, motherfucks. It was garbage. this era, right? Not the Triple H era, but this, modern era of wrestling, the last 10 years or so, right? Has been marked by shitty title reigns, where the person holds the title and nothing comes of it. It's just a placeholder title reign after a placeholder title reign. I will say that this began with Daniel Bryan. He had one of the worst title reigns, probably the worst title reign of all time. Then after that, we've had mostly, there's been a few good ones, mostly shitty title reigns. Obviously, a good one would be Roman Reigns. AJ Styles had a pretty good title reign on SmackDown. He really put the title over, right? He wrestled all the time. He wrestled competitive matches. He wrestled against big stars. But nowadays, it'll be like MJF and he'll wrestle like Hechicero or something, right? And we're supposed to care about that. Or Cody Rhodes will wrestle a present-day AJ Styles, who just came back as a mid-card jobber. So there you have it. Kenny Omega's title reign was no different. He's wrestling complete nobodies, and nobody cared at all about his title reign. And he dropped it to like Adam Page, which was like another horrible title reign. Anyways, reason 15. His tag team with Kota Ibushi is weird, motherfucks. They're called the Golden Lovers, but like it's this pseudo-gay but not gay gimmick. Like, it'd be better if it was gay. If they were just gay lovers, all right, fine. They love each other deeply, so they're gay, and that's why the tag team works. That's actually a compelling gimmick. It's like a Billy and Chuck. But their thing is like, oh, we're not really gay. Tee-hee-hee, which makes it lame. It makes it lame, motherfucks. I will say one thing that's cool about it is their finishing move is called the Golden Shower, which is pretty cool. But anyways, reason number 16. People have given up on him, which shows that it didn't work out. Nobody cares about Kenny Omega anymore. People care about Ospreay, Okada, people care about Cookie Rhodes. Nobody gives a shit about Kenny Omega anymore. Reason number 17. His push in Japan was totally manufactured by the likes of Dave Meltzer. Nobody cared at all about him in Japan. All of a sudden, this junior heavyweight becomes a heavyweight, and people are supposed to care. And nobody really did. Reason number 18. He is a mark, motherfucks. He is a mark for himself and for the Young Cucks, and that is not good. Reason number 19. Vince McMahon wouldn't know what to do with Kenny Omega. He wouldn't know how to book him. I can already hear the nerds saying this if and when Kenny Omega ends up in WWE. I still think that he will have a little mini run, but I mean, let's be real. Like, he's 40 now. He's never going to have the impact. And they would have blamed it on Vince McMahon for not knowing what to do with this guy. But the reality is, nobody knows what to do with this guy because he hasn't had success in New Japan or in AEW, right? Like, it doesn't matter if he was AEW champion. Adam Page was AEW champion, right? And it's another guy that people would say, Vince McMahon wouldn't know how to book him. Yeah, Tony Khan's really doing a good job booking Adam Page. Yeah, there was a lot of good booking of Adam Page in New Japan. In ROH, he was booked pretty decent. But, like, nowadays, he's just a jobber. Like, nobody cares about him at all, you know? Reason number 20, which goes along hand in hand with reason 19. He never drew a dime, motherfucks. Kenny Omega has yet to draw one dime. Nobody cares about him. When he comes back, the AEW ratings are not going to bounce up. That's never going to happen, motherfuckers. This shit's over, like I've been saying. You know what I mean? Reason number 21. He didn't have an impressive run in New Japan, but we are forced to pretend that he did. In New Japan, he was essentially a transitional champion. He had a few matches with Okada. He won one and lost like 8. You know what I mean? He was never taken seriously as this world champion, right? He had a similar run to Jay White. Like, nobody takes the white wrestler seriously in New Japan, and that makes sense, right? Because you want Japanese people to be the champions of Japan, because the white people can one day leave and go to AEW or WWE, more likely than not AEW, because they're not good enough for WWE. So that's what happens, right? He's a transitional champion. Like, the storyline was not about, will Kenny Omega win? Nobody cared about that. He was just like a guy that has a title. He was like an edge to a John Cena. He had the title for a little bit until Cena came along and got it. You know what I mean? That's how it is, that's how it was, and that's how it's going to be. Reason number 22. The assertion that he is the best in the world, or that he was the best in the world at any given time, is just plain old silly, motherfucks. He was never the best in the world. AJ Styles was better than him at all given moments. AJ Styles is still better than him. John Cena was better than him. Randy Orton was better than him, and Randy Orton is overrated. A lot of people are better than him. You know, I would even go as far as saying, like, you know, like, in my opinion, Logan Paul is objectively better than Kenny Omega at everything that involves wrestling. Everything, literally. I don't think there's one metric that Kenny Omega is better at than, Logan Paul. Kenny Omega is older. He's less athletic. He's less good looking. He's less big. He's less charismatic. He's as I said, he's less athletic, so he's less good in the ring. Like, there's nothing that he has over someone like Logan Paul. And Logan Paul is not like the second coming of Christ, motherfuckers. He's just Logan Paul, you know. Reason number 24. He did not have any meaningful feuds or matches in AEW, right? He didn't have any meaningful feuds or matches. He had his little feud with Pac and one with Moxley, but none of them were meaningful. They were like the beginning feuds when the company was trying to establish itself, and that wasn't the main event. Jericho was the main event, which made perfect sense. Reason 25. He was second to people like Jericho, Moxley, and more importantly, Daniel Bryan Bryan Danielson in AEW, right? He was never the guy. He was never the guy. When he was champion, nobody gave a flying fuck. The story was always something else. Like, it would be him versus Christian. Christian should have won. He didn't. Immediately, the thunder is stolen from him with the debut of Adam Cole and Daniel Bryan. I mean, ultimately, they both went on to fail, but nevertheless, it never felt like he was a big deal. So there you have it, motherfuckers. Those have been 25 reasons why Kenny Omega sucks.